Hey everyone, Travis here at the very end of week 11 of the NALCS, joined by Krepo after the 4-0 victory for EG. However, there's a sad sort of story that goes along with the 4-0, which is that over the course of the weekend, of course, it became clear you guys wouldn't be making it to playoffs. What is like the set of emotions that are simultaneously all running through your head right now?
Grief. A lot of grief. And happiness. A little bit of happiness.
Is bittersweet the way you would describe it?
That is the way I did have described it, I think, at the desk already. Glad that you're watching. Thank you.
Well, I was out there interacting with the fans, because they're really close to my heart. So I knew I'd have a chance to talk to you privately later on about the whole situation and get sort of that one-on-one experience, which I cherish so much because you're such a great esports person. Krepo, you seem to be playing a lot better than you had been previously. I even heard a rumor that some people say that you should be MVP for the week. Heard Zoe mention that in the press room just moments ago. What is responsible for the improved play?
What do you mean improved play?
I don't know. Like there was a time where people were saying some stuff about you on Reddit that was somewhat negative. Now it seems like people are saying positive things. Do you think maybe your play hasn't improved and that you're just getting carried to the 4-0, or what do you, maybe you don't think that your play has improved?
All right, now real talk. I think a couple of weeks ago I came to terms with the fact that my career might be over. And I've always looked at it like, hey, I'm going to try and play as long as I can. I'm going to milk it out cuz I love playing, but I was like, hey, well, maybe it's not worth all the stress, all the shitty environments and the bad feedback and just not playing well enough, fighting for a 6th spot when you came from top 4 world. Maybe it's not all just not fucking worth it anymore. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's over. Maybe this the end of the season, so they're gonna say, hey Krepo, we think you're garbage, we're gonna replace you with some Korean, and that'll be it. And I was like, okay, fine. And I'll just work on myself. I don't want to leave esports worse than I came in, so I started hitting the gym, try to watch what I eat, and just try to be healthier. I actually spend up less time playing League, which is more thinking about myself and what I want to do in life. And then, yeah, I just played pretty much stress free. Try to go for the play if I saw it. If it backfires, so be it. I mean, can't get much worse. We had some of these games where we went 0-5 and it was like, oh my god, Krepo, please fucking retire. And yeah, fuck all the haters. I'll still try to do my best. I'll still try to play. I enjoy playing. And this week was probably one of the best performance in an LCS week of my life. Does that mean I'm gonna play all the time like that? Hell no. First week next season, if I'm still playing, it might be garbage again. But I don't know. I just enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, and I really wanted that last game to be good because I really wanted to have look at this is a good performance on multiple games in a row, and yeah, I won MVP. Or I want to mention, I just want to, hey Krepo, you did a good job somewhere. So that's what I'm looking for.
Now, you've kind of approached the edges of a topic that I was planning on bringing up with you here, which is this the last competitive game you will play? Do you think relegations might be, or are you looking at playing a lot? Because there's already rumors of you possibly appearing on the analyst desk at Worlds. It would make sense you were there last year. That could be, a launching point for you to move into analyst work or broadcast analyst work or casting, and you've even hinted at that before. So is that what's in your future? I mean, which path are you planning on taking?
I mean, I have a good working relationship with Riot. I can't fully disclose everything we talk about, but let's be honest, there's a good chance I'll be at the desk at Worlds. And then in the future, I think I could make a good color caster. I need to work on my flow and my intonation a lot, but I think the knowledge is there and I think I can get it across. So that's something I want to do in the future. Coaching is something I've considered because I feel there's a distinct lack of capable coaches that can actually read how these 18-year-old and 17-year-old players are behaving and towards each other, because the social interactions in a team environment can be so damn destructive. It's disgusting. You really need somebody mature to slap them around once in a while, not actually, but just metaphorically, and say, hey, I don't care if you think your teammate is bad. Treat him like a human being. Separate in-game from out-game and work on that. And if you don't want to work towards solutions, well, then that is an additional problem. And I really feel NA needs more and better coaches. And I hope that maybe one day I can do that. But I don't think budgetary wise, the LCS teams are ready for like actually paying a good coach what he's worth. So I don't think that's where I should go. But I love casting more anyways. I'm in a struggle. Like, do I play more? Am I good enough? Am I not? Am I good enough for bottom teams? Am I good enough to compete at the top? Where do I go? I honestly have no idea what's gonna happen. I love playing still, and I'll try to play as long as I can. But I'm now at terms with the fact that one day I will have to say, hey, it's over.
Yeah.
And until that point, I'm just gonna try and have as much fun as I can and be as decent of a person, I guess, as I can, and just try to like keep the team as healthy as I can. And we'll see what happens.
Is there a chance that we might not see Krepo be a starting player on an LCS team at the start of 2015?
I don't know. I guess yeah. Well, there is a chance. I guess. How high that like how big that chance is? Fuck, I don't know. Like maybe.
I mean, I'm just curious because I would imagine that at these next coming months where you're at the desk at Worlds potentially, and EG probably going through relegation, and after every time that a team goes through something like that, it always seems like people discuss possible roster changes. I would guess that you probably have a lot to think about over the next couple of months. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, every time Worlds happens, like there's gonna be shakeups. Look at what happened last year. Like all the teams, like had big shakeups. Not even the bottom teams. Like everybody's looking, like, everybody's talking. A lot of hypotheticals, a lot of possible super teams being formed and then not formed and then formed again, and then a lot of investigative journalists reporting on said fact. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm open to whatever happens, and like I'm more at peace with would it end. Doesn't mean I want it to end. I love playing. Like today, like the crowd was cheering, and I was like, "What the hell are they cheering for?" And I was like, "Oh, I just hit a bind. There's nothing else in the game they could be possibly cheering for. That's me. All right, my time to shine." And you'll never get that as a caster. So I do enjoy playing.
Well, you could make puns. I've heard them cheer for puns before.
Yeah. Well, I think that role's already taken.
Going forward into relegations, how do you think? I mean, do you think that the 4-0 pretty much proves EG safe, or do you guys have some concerns?
I think the fact that we ended in the 7th place proves that we're not safe. I think statistically speaking, we're going to be better than the second best challenger team that's going to come up. Probably likely team 8, I believe, from what I've been told. I haven't checked excessively, so I might be talking out my ass. But we should beat them. But it's been proven. I mean, last split Coast lost to Complexity. Now they play each other again, so they have the rematch there. I don't make bold predictions about playoffs. All I know is these amateur teams or challenger teams, correct term, they choke a lot. They even if you beat them one game, like they'll start choking, and hopefully we don't choke anymore. Like I'm pretty calm over those games, and that's always an advantage.
Having watched you or EG and Complexity play over the past, I don't know, second half of the split, I certainly feel as though being seventh and eighth in the NALCS doesn't mean what it used to mean. Even beyond the fact that they're expanding the league, it used to feel as though those 7th, 8th place teams were, a lot of people said, should they even be in the league or something like that. And oftentimes we would see a high turnover rate for them. I feel like this split has definitely changed that feeling. There's a lot of respect to both EG and Complexity. Do you feel like that's a fair statement?
I felt like that at the start of the split, and then somewhere in the middle, I felt like, hey, we're gravitating towards that same thing again. I looked at our record, and we were 4 and maybe 14, and I was like, damn, what am I doing with my life? 4 wins in 18 matches. But then right now, look, I think we're at 11 wins this season, so it's 11 to 17. I mean, it's still a negative win-loss, but we took down C9, took down LMQ, played a couple of good matches. A lot of our matches were close. I'm like, yeah, the gap is tightening. But yeah, I think it's good. There's a high chance, I guess, with the rumors about more teams being added, that it'll widen again and then tighten again one more time. But I think that when that point hits, the league is going to be in a good spot. If there's 10 teams that are competitive, both for league and viewership base, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, we'll see.
I mean, as you say, 11-17, a pretty good record, especially compared to some of the ones that we've seen in the past, and especially in a season or a split where people seem to feel as though all of North America has gotten better and there's a lot more competitive teams. What do you think of maybe again sort of a preview of any potential insight we could see from you at a Worlds desk if you end up there? What do you think of NA's chance at Worlds?
Um, the problem I have right now is the problem I had last year before going to Worlds. I haven't followed the other regions as in depth as I should. But even with my limited knowledge, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get smashed by the Koreans.
I mean, that seems like a safe assessment. You don't buy into the Rengar theory on Reddit that we're ahead of Korea because, yeah, okay. I tried. Just try to build a little bit of hope, you know. I'd say hype, but at this point, it's more just a bit of hope. All right. Over the next month, what do you guys do? I mean, relegations, I think, isn't. You have more than probably 30 days to prepare for it. So, what is? Do you guys take a break, or do you just hit the ground running?
I don't know. I haven't been told yet. I should have been told, but I have no idea. So all I know is I'm gonna be at PAX. So I'll be visiting PAX as a spectator and a fan. And if you see me at PAX, come say hello, take a picture, take an autograph, make indecent proposals that I will refuse. Or not.
Well, yeah. Will you though? That's the question. I mean, I see the new hair. I feel like you're gonna get a lot of them.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, I'll be at PAX. I love big events, and that's the thing I miss the most in the LCS is just being at these like big events or cons, just walk around, not only being there, just meeting the esports people and then go out for like a nice glass of cool water in the evening and just talk about esports and things like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. First time I'm actually doing like one of the bigger events where League is being played, not as a player, which is going to sting a lot. Reminds me of like watching the World Finals and crying in the open bar because I wasn't playing, but it's going to be fun.
I mean, one of the things is that I have found that when you go there and you don't have as much work, or in your case, play, you can drink a lot of nice glasses of cool water. So perhaps that'll cheer you up a little bit, heal the wound. You have any shout-outs, anything you want to say to all the Krepo fans who are rooting for an arguable MVP at the end of this 4-0 weekend that you guys had?
Thank you so much if you support me. A lot of people always say like, hey, I like what you stand for or like what you do regardless of your play. Thank you so much for that. For people that like said positive things, thank you. Thanks to my teammates for like performing really well. I think Johnny Boy really stepped up. Like he's becoming a beast at AD carry, and it's only gonna get better. So I'm really happy like with the way the team went in because we had a horrible week of scrims, but we still turned it up for LCS. And yeah, thanks for everyone and our sponsors, Evil Geniuses as well, for still having me around and letting me play these games.
Oh, I should mention, yeah. Is it true? Altec came up to me and told me this. I'm just curious if you can confirm this for a journalist. Is it true that you guys did not win a single scrim this week before going into the 4-0? He claims that you guys didn't win any scrims.
Maybe like a handful, but there was even like we even canceled some scrim blocks because it just wasn't going. Like it was disaster. I thought 0-4. Like I actually considered retiring last week. Like no shit. Like I was done. It was enough. So this 4-0 Super Week was really a breath of fresh air.
Well, thank you so much, Krepo. As always, a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing what your future holds in the next couple of months.
Oh. And thanks to Marking for having the camera and giving me fitness advice.
I'm not sure, again, who this Marking guy is. People keep referencing him. Check out the rest of our coverage of all things esports at ongamers.com. We weren't ready.
Right?
Just wait.
Okay.